Hi, so today I wanted to talk about subtraction. Now, there are two main ways of doing subtraction, so I'm going to go over them both. Today we did simple subtraction, so with two-digit numbers and one-digit numbers. For example, 14 minus 9 or 7 minus 3. So there are two ways of doing this. One, let's take the number 8 minus 5, and we want to get the answer, okay? So to get that answer, we can count from our fingers. So first we can put 8 on our fingers, and we can count down. So we can count down 5 times. So we can go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So that would make our answer to be 3, okay? So that's the first way of doing it. The second way of doing it is mostly for more complex equations, such as 43 minus 31. Okay? So those are the more complex equations where we can't count it on our fingers and we can't use a calculator to get the answer either. So you will most likely see it in this format, and that's how you would have to solve it. So the column, you can see that there are two columns. The column on the right is our ones column, and the column on our left is our tens column. And those columns just signify the place value of the number. So for example, in the number 43, there are 4 tens plus 4 ones. And in the number 31, there are 3 tens and just 1 1. So first, in this method of subtraction, we are going to subtract the ones column, which would be 3 minus 1, which would get us 2. So we'll put 2 at the bottom here, right under the two numbers. Now that we've subtracted from the ones column, we need to do the same with the tens column. So we would subtract 4 tens, which is 40, minus 3 tens, which is 30. And you could just simply do 4 minus 3, which is 1. So our answer is 12. So that's the other way of doing subtraction. And there are also more complex ways to do it. With some subtraction problems, you are required to borrow or carry over numbers. So that's what I'm going to go over now. So for example, we have this number 75 minus 57. Okay, so we're going to subtract these two numbers again, just like last time. But there's one major difference that you might have already noticed. In this problem, the ones column, 5, the top number is bigger than the bottom, is smaller than the bottom number. 5 is smaller than 7, so we can't just subtract because you cannot subtract 5 minus 7 to get the correct answer. So as we remember, this is the ones column and this is the tens column. The tens column is on the left and the ones column is on the right. So it is the same big method, but to get to the answer, it requires a bit more steps. So we can't do 5 minus 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to borrow a 10 from the tens column, from the first number, 75. So we're going to borrow a 10 from the 7. So we're borrowing 1 10. So this 7 becomes a 6, because now instead of 7 tens, there are 6 tens. And we're moving that 10 over to the ones column. So that ones column would now become 10 plus 5. So that ones column would now become 15. So now, instead of doing 5 minus 7, we're doing 15 minus 7, which would equal 8. So we can write 8 down in the ones column and move on to our tens column. Now, you wouldn't do 7 minus 5 for the tens column because we took 1 10 to the other side. So instead, we are going to do 6 minus 5, which is 1. Therefore, your answer to 75 minus 57 would be 18. So that's pretty much it for this lesson. I just talked about how to do basic subtraction and some ways of doing it, mainly the carryover way. So yeah, thank you.